Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go through one more time how the class works, how you find everything you need, what to do if you think you're missing something, and when are things due, how are grades figured. So everything about the class, here it is. Obviously, we go to Google Classroom where everything starts. And in the stream, you will find the slide deck. Everything you need for your class is in the slide deck. So go to the slide deck. We're currently in Unit 2. How do you know? Big red arrow. So let's go to the slides. Now, you can go right down through the slides and we will work top to bottom, and you will notice there's a big red arrow that tells you when each slide is due. So the big thing that you need to pay attention to is, when is this slide due? Monday, 8:30, 8 a.m. So August 30th, 8 a.m. What's due? Everything. In this case, everything here is due on Tuesday the 31st, Wednesday the 1st. Now, here's a different one. In this case, because there's so much to do, we have the Ed puzzles due on Thursday the 2nd, while all the Delta math is due Friday the 3rd. So the big red arrows tell you all the due dates. So what do I do? Well, it's distance and midpoint as our topic. Click the link, and there we go. It takes us right to Edpuzzle, right to our student account. If you need to, remember, you can log in using your Warrensburg Latham account. Start the Edpuzzle. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Answer all the questions, and it's recorded for you. Now, what happens when I want to see my notes? The notes are all right there, right exactly from the video. Also, what about our practice? Well, Delta Math, we need to do midpoint graphically or midpoint formula. So again, click the icon. It takes you right to Delta Math. You log in, and you are taken right to your Delta Math. We're in Foundations, Unit 2. So we were looking for midpoint formula. Now, sometimes there are multiple things that we're going to do in a day. Well, how do I know? Midpoint formula, midpoint graphically. Find midpoint from midpoint. So let's go right here. Midpoint graphically. I have that done. I can see 3 out of 3. Midpoint formula, I'm not done, so I probably ought to go do this one. If I'm not sure what to do, show example, because there's a help for every single one. Also, if that's not enough, go to the help video for every single one, and it'll walk you through. The guy that wrote the problem did the videos, so you can see it. When you're done, you can go back. The other nice thing is, whether you get it right or whether you get it wrong, it's going to give you the solution. And you can see what you should have done, and it's going to show you exactly what needs to happen. Additionally, you can work an infinite number of problems. All you need to do is get 3 right. It doesn't matter if it takes you 3 to get 3 right, or if it takes you 5 problems to get 3 right, or 6 problems to get 3 right. You just need to get however many right it says. And in fact, you'll notice 4 out of 3, you can even do more than is required if you want extra practice getting ready for a test. Now, of course, we have to write down every single problem, every single graph. Where do I turn that in? Turn in here. Takes you exactly to your Google Classroom, and it shows you all the stuff that you have to have on that written paper, all the graphs, tables, and problems. If you're not writing the problem, it doesn't count. If you're not showing your work, it doesn't count. You need to make sure your name is on every page, the title is on every page. Make sure you submit it right here, because yours will have a little add picture. So you take a picture with your Chromebook or a picture with your phone and submit it right there. So if you want to see the Zoom from last year about this particular lesson, it's also there for you to use. So that's Edpuzzle, Notes, Delta Math, and Turnitin. It's all on one page. What's the due date? Bam, right there in the big red arrow. Now, let's say, though, that you do get behind, or you are gone a day, and you want to know, what Edpuzzles have I done or have I not done? Well, log into Edpuzzle using your Warrensburg Latham login. You can see which ones you have yet to do, and you can see which ones are completed. In fact, I've completed only one Edpuzzle as a student, and I didn't do very well. but that's okay. Because all I need to do is within this chapter, if I want to improve my Edpuzzle score, all I need to do is email Mr. Moore my name and the title of this Edpuzzle. Mr. Moore will reset it and I will get to redo it. Now, you will see different due dates over here that are way later than our normal due dates. The reason is we have students that are absent, that have special accommodations, or they have special extenuating circumstances. So these dates are set for those students to be able to get their learning done on time. What due dates matter? The big red arrows. Same thing with Delta Math. You may see due dates that are a little bit later than what you're expecting, but it doesn't matter because, again, those are set for students with sicknesses, special accommodations, or extenuating circumstances. When should you have it done? You should have it done on the day that it's due, just like we talk about in class, just like it says in the big red arrow. And these will always be up to date. And it's due at 8 a.m. on a given day because Mr. Moore can start grading at 8 a.m. on any given day. I normally grade on Wednesdays, so your grades in the grade book won't necessarily update automatically. You'll notice in this chapter, we have Google Classroom average. How much work are you turning in this chapter? Delta Math average. How many Delta Maths from this chapter thus far have you turned in? Edpuzzle average. How many Edpuzzles? What's your percentage you're getting on those? You say, well, I'm not sure what goes into that grade. Click on it, and it tells you Edpuzzle, Foundations, Unit 2. These are the ones that are included. History of Measurement, Congruence, Warrensburg-Latham, Geometry Intro Movie, Geometry as a System, Points, Line, Plane, Lego Points, Line, Plane. As we go through the chapter, as I update that grade, I will add more to that description. You can clearly see each chapter has a Google Classroom, a Delta Math, and an Edpuzzle, and it will have a practice test and a test. You'll also notice in our first chapter, we had some introduction material and we did a special project. So that's why we have the Edpuzzle for Math History Project and the Math History Project itself. But you can always check your grades, always look at the descriptions, and that tells you exactly what's in there. Now, for those students that like even a little bit more and you like to see your homework more as a list, go to your Google Classroom. You have the foundation, the slideshow, because that's where you find everything. These are all the turn-ins, but you don't need to worry about that because those are those little blue turn-in boxes in the slideshow. But if you want a table that lists everything that we do in the course of the chapter, I've made a list and made a little table out of it so you can see Geometry Introduction, when's it due? Did I do it? Geometry as a System, when's it due? Did I do it? Points, Lines, Planes, and Lego Points, Line, Planes, the Delta Math that goes with it, when's it due? Did I do it? And you can keep track of this if you'd like. You'll notice on this one right here, it says angle types and angle. So there's one Edpuzzle, two Delta Maths. In our table, angle types, there's one Edpuzzle, two Delta Maths. When's it due? Did you do it? So if that helps you, great. Is it required? No, it is not required. It's simply a tool to help you. And if it helps you, that's good. What you need to do, go to the Google Classroom, get to the slideshow. The slideshow tells you everything you need to do for the class. All right, guys, hopefully that helps.